I got in a car accident in my 2025 Ford Raptor, and I took a couple days to pout, and I am here taking everyone through the story, what we've done so far, and what our next steps are. So hopefully, if anyone else ends up in my situation, I can give them some guidance. So let's get to it. About 11 p.m. on Friday night, I went to go pick up my husband from the airport, and I was driving in a right lane, going straight through a green light, and someone else was turning right onto the same road. They had a red light. They did not stop at the red light, and they went ahead and turned right. I honked my horn, I slowed down, and I went ahead and got into the left lane, and they hit my car. So I thought that I had got over into the left lane and left the right lane open for them. And at that point they were in my blind spot, so I did not see them. But I guess they had veered into the left lane as well when they turned right on that red. So I will take you through the damage. They got my Vossen wheel and my Toyo tire. Pretty good. They got my fender flare, as well as my door, my side step. You can also tell by the impact that some things aren't lining up correctly anymore. We ended up pulling over, getting a police report. My husband ended up Ubering from the airport to meet us. And I did have my 9-year-old daughter with me because we were going to pick my husband up from the airport, and we hadn't seen him in a few weeks, so we were all pretty excited to get him. It was late at night, and where we pulled over, I guess, was it ended up being the other person's neighborhood, but I didn't know that, and it was late at night in a neighborhood I wasn't familiar with, so I ended up actually just calling 911 and having a highway state patrol person come out because I didn't feel comfortable getting out of the truck to like assess the damage or do anything like that until someone else was there, because it was late at night and I had my 9-year-old daughter with me, and we were both a little frazzled. So that was the situation. We got a police report. That was our first step. We went home that night after my husband met us there, and we got their police report, gave statements, got information, all of that stuff, exchanged everything. And then the next morning we called Geico. We started our claim. She ended up starting the claim with other insurance. So everything is done on that end. And that was the second step. The third step will be getting our estimate for the damage. So that is done through the insurance. And we have that scheduled for next week. And with Geico, so every insurance is a little bit different, but with Geico, we are using their suggested estimate shop, and they have a bunch of different options, but we just chose one of the ones that had the earliest date, and they'll basically cut a check from there because we are not going to use the shop that they want us to use. We're going to pick our own body shop because with the Raptor being shelter green, it's like a very unique color, and we want to pick our own shop to do the work. So that's kind of the third step to go. You've depending on your insurance, will have to use a certain shop or pick a shop, or out of pocket, or however that works. We're hopeful to find a really good shop in the North Carolina area that's going to work really well. We're going to actually probably end up going to go talk to a few of them to see who's comfortable working on it and who can maybe match the color and do that. But the very first part of that is getting that estimate and making sure that the check is going to cover all those things. So there's that. And then the other part that I wanted to touch on for anyone else who might end up in this situation and who might have a similar vehicle that is their dream truck, that is flawless, that is new because we just bought this truck. It has 3,000 miles on it. We are looking into diminished value, and I did already bring it up with Geico, and they know that is something we're going to be bringing up. You cannot do it until the repairs are done. However, I have been reading a lot about people not getting what they deserve on diminished value, so we will be prepared and looking into a lawyer if that is not something Geico meets our needs on. While it doesn't feel great to do this, it also doesn't feel great to have my truck hit by someone who wasn't paying attention when they were driving. So make sure you get the other person's information and get a police report, exchange your insurance, driver's license, and registration, or at least have their phone number, name, phone number, and address, as well as their full insurance information, and like get their license plate. And start a insurance claim, and then get an estimate of cost through your insurance, and then schedule for repairs. So that's what we're working on right now, and that's what's to come. I will make videos on the progress.